Welcome back everybody to the Weekend Warrior. This is the Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Getting back into things here, took a week off from Gogs and his ongoing saga through the offline story in .hack Fragment. We had also done a brief video showing you a couple of equipment upgrades we did to hopefully better Gog's chances at helping his party members out. He's accrued a few allies now in Mimiru, Bear, BT, and Mia, but found himself woefully lacking, still at the first level of experience and still with all level 1 gear. So we took a little trip around town to see if we could trade some of the loot we had picked up in our first 2 adventures, and got ourselves some new armor, and also picked up some boots and a weapon from my other characters playing Fragment via a lovely little tool. That video is on a Fragment from the Net Slum. Feel free to check that out if you would like. In the meantime, we're going to dive back in here and check out this email that was sent to us. Okay, diving in, going into offline, going to unread so I don't tip the hand of any other emails. Got an email from Mia labeled Data Drain, and it's new to us, so let's go ahead and read it. It says, to the one with the bracelet, and I believe Helba is the one who sends you this email in Infection. You wait for the signal when attacking, that is the data drain OK, the protect break. When lit up, you could use the data drain to rewrite the monster's data. Goes on to say there's a hidden danger when using data drain called viral infection. Be aware of the skill menu gauge. That's the little person gauge. It's a little silhouette of Kite in Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine. It's just a general body figure in Fragment. When your infection level reaches 100%, there's a chance your character experiences irreparable corruption, and by that they mean game over. When you defeat a monster without data drain, your infection level will decrease gradually. Keep it below 100%. That's a fair warning. Data bugs won't display hit points. That's true, it's bugged. Keep chipping away, damaging until they protect break, then use data drain. Timing is everything. And that's the email there. Now a little bit of insight into that. I can't say I've heard a confirmed report in Fragment of anybody data draining to 100% and getting an instant game over. That said, there are some serious repercussions to draining. Obviously, the negative side effects get to be more cumulative in percentage chance if you drain more often in a dungeon. But I have seen these hit pretty nastily at times. And I saw one of the big negatives hit on a first data drain. One of the negatives you can get is leveling down. You could actually lose the amount of experience, I think, to the nearest 100 that it would take to level you down a level, and then you have to chase that level again. So as if it isn't bad enough that dying drops you a level, game over, dying, total party wipe, or if you're soloing, just getting killed. If that's not bad enough, draining the enemies who are a threat to you to keep from dying could potentially level you down. The advantage to that is you're still in the dungeon, you could get right back in there and keep fighting enemies normally to get that experience back, but that's a pretty swift kick in a sensitive area. Also, I've been told you could potentially lose a random item from your character's current active inventory. I don't think it deals with your stash, and I'm not 100% if it deals with key items, but say you got like a really nice weapon. Like, say you used an extension program that runs through an ELF file to trade a weapon that's perhaps 22 levels higher in ability than your character to you, and you drain at the right place, wrong time sort of deal. I guess it just kind of gets swept off you. Yikes. So just a couple things to look out for. That said, data draining, integral part of the Dot Hack series and an integral part of the game. So when you gotta use it, go ahead and use it. And it's still, by far and away, your best chance at a rare item. So if you're after those rares, just drain. No need to hold back if that's what you're after. Just be very aware of the potential negatives. That is the only email we got, and so we are diving into the world. Wow, that was a lot of time I spent on that, wasn't it? So there you see Gogs. Still twitchy with the arm. Of course, he's carrying a big old sword and he's just a little dude. I guess that makes sense. Gonna go in, and we've got new information on the BBS as well. Unattackable monsters, and this seems to just be going over physical and magical resistances, as well as attributed resistances. That's not something you're going to run into too much early levels. That's really more into the level 30 range, I would say, late 20s into 30s. You start seeing those resistances more heavily. You may occasionally run into some elemental resistances below that, but that's another thing to look out for, and that's where the Bane scrolls come in handy, or if you get any of the deck abilities, you can go ahead and lower their resistance that way. Then we have a how to use the items with virus cores, which is, you know, normally sort of a strange thing to see in the BBS, because normally the only way you could get virus cores is from data draining. But there are some virus crystals in the game as well. But, of course, the BBS is here as an interesting way to sort of set you up and teach you how to play the game. So you get that little blurb about the virus cores there, and here you have a message from Elk looking for a cat-like PC named Mia. If you've seen her, please tell me. Anyone who's played IMOQ or is familiar with the Dot Hack R1 lore at all is very familiar with the saga of Elk and Mia, and we've got Elk looking for his friend Mia here on the boards. A cat-like PC? Huh? And then you have Subaru asking about it, who of course another notable NPC in the series. Then you've got a response to the PC's move on their own. I believe that's it for the new stuff on the BBS. Time to log in. Heading back into Mac Anu here. And it looks like we're walking in on a bit of a meeting, led by everybody's favorite wet blanket with a sword, Silver Knight. Says an illegally modified cat-like player character? That's about as in character as I'm getting on that. Subaru says, "Stop it, Silver Knight. We aren't the Crimson Knights anymore. Understand?" It's a shame, because the uniform really suits the guy. Elk goes, "You guys know Mia?" Subaru turns. Elk's a bit surprised, mainly that she's standing upright, because that axe is like 30 times her size. So we now have two people with obscenely oversized weapons in this scene. Just want to point that out. But he goes, "Huh? Why are you staring at me?" Subaru says, "I'm sorry. You look very similar to someone I know." Elk goes, similar to me? I love that little pause in Elk's dialogue is always great. Just the little pauses there and the always questioning everything. I'm a big Elk fan. Subaru goes, his name is Tsukasa. I once saw him with a cat-like player. Elk goes, there's another cat player like Mia. Then you get this wonderful panning shot. Subaru goes, Mia, your friend's name is Mia. Well, we creepily watch in there, you know, just random dude with a sword walking in on this meeting. Don't mind us. Subaru says, that player is someone important to you, right? Mia is... she's my friend, says Elk. That's adorable. Subaru goes, Elk, I'll help you find your special friend. Elk goes, really? Thank you. And in pops everybody's second favorite wet blanket with a sword, Balmung. He goes, Subaru, it's been a while. Subaru turns around and goes, ah, Balmung of the Azure Sky. I'd make a joke about how many people could possibly be running around with wings in this game, but as it turns out, that's one of the default models you could take for the Blade Master, so there's actually a good many people who run around this game with wings on their back. Not to mention Subaru, who got wings on her back. It's weird how I always forget that. I guess it's because the wings are tiny. Balmung goes on to say that bracelet. You must have been chosen by Aura. At this point it's getting a little agitating to me that literally everybody else in the world can see this damn bracelet. All I see is a very twitchy arm. Is the bracelet causing the twitch? Get more panning. Balmung does the RPG slow walk and he says, it seems you've already encountered a data bug. Yeah, it's got a little ticker on it. It's like that thing you used to jump. What did they call that thing? I gotta look it up. Yes, I'm actually pulling up Google right now in the middle of an upload. Skip it? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, skip it. Had the little, like, round thing on a stick, and you just skipped around and it had a counter. Yeah, that's how the data drain bracelet works. Goes, did you learn data drain? Well, I'm still here and the data bug's not. You draw your own conclusions, legendary hero. Goes, no, you don't quite understand this, nor that bracelet yet. Well, at least I came here to get called stupid. Goes, I suggest you get stronger. Master the bracelet's true power. Only then will the path open for you. I will admit I was a bit worried he was going to spend like a game and a half thinking I was an illegal hacker and trying to set me up for failure. Don't know why I'd get that feeling. Silver Knight says, what are you talking about, Balmung? Balmung says, not your concern. And that, folks, is why the wettest blanket in the game should not mess with the second wettest blanket. Silver Knight makes a sound that I'm not even going to try, but he does it emphatically because you could see the exclamation point. Balmung says, if you come across a data bug, don't hesitate for a second. Use data drain on it immediately. Apparently no one's told him about the 100% thing. Are you really the chosen one? I guess we'll find out. At this point I'm convinced that Balmung is just the best in social situations. Subaru goes, you're... She goes, what? You met someone named Mia? I'm pretty sure Subaru's entire point in this cutscene is just to connect everybody to each other. Elk goes, really? Do you know where she is? Elk says, yes, I have Mia's member address, but no matter what I do, she won't answer. She has to be online somewhere. Can you help us look for Mia? Subaru says, I'll keep in touch while we search for her. Let us know if you find anything. So after all of this talk and me just desperately trying to find the end of this unraveling ball of yarn here, Subaru gives us a member address. Elk says, if you find her, please tell me right away. And then we get Elk's member address. Subaru says, well, thank you for the help. And she logs out, as does Elk, and of course Silver Knight doesn't give a crap about us. We're just some person who may have an illegal bracelet. Wettest blanket for a reason, folks. Respect that. Now this is the point where I would love to go on an adventure, but we just got new mail. And anytime you hear that chime and see that you have new mail in the upper left-hand corner, glowing bluish green thing, or greenish blue if that's what you'd prefer, teal or turquoise, I'm fine with either. But when you see that, you must obey it. You could ignore it, but let's face it, like the call of whatever thing you find coolest in the world, you're gonna head there eventually. Just to test that theory, though, Elk said he couldn't contact Mia, but he's not the chosen one. We're the chosen one, and we can tell that because we're level 1 and we've got a cool sword. So let's go ahead and call Mia, and she'll clearly come to... Oh. No response. Well, okay, let's go check out the mail. Log back out. Because that's the joy of playing an RPG, logging in for a big long cutscene and then logging out right after the dialogue. Go to the bulletin board because we've got a new thing posted. We've got some text to read on the online mode area server. It is important to know that this game wasn't meant to be played straight through like we're sort of doing here. You were meant to jump back and forth between online and offline mode. Offline gives you this great story to play through and a chance to interact fully with a lot of notable characters from the series. But there are certain benchmarks they set for certain levels, and the reason they spaced it out like that is once you got to a certain percentage of completion, things would be bumped up to an extent that you couldn't reasonably do them in a linear fashion. You'd have to head online, check out these area servers, or perhaps make one of your own, and party up with people, make some friends, and enjoy the game online to grind those levels and get that gear you would need to continue on. Then you've got some more stuff about protected areas. This, of course, is the things you'd need the virus cores for. This is the gate hacking. It is worth pointing out as well that as you're playing the game, you're under no obligation to do any part of it right away. Those in the know in the Fragment community would recommend you played through everything we had gone through to this point before heading online, so you can get a little bit of experience, get a couple treasures, get used to the shortcuts, and most importantly, get data drain. But you could absolutely just head right in, create a character, and play online only. While that seems kind of cool in theory, in practice, I would have to warn you that you will 100% not be able to data drain unless you unlocked it in offline, and you won't be able to hack gates. There is a chance in online mode that keywords on a server become corrupted, and there is a protected area sort of injected into their server until it's run. Usually I believe the area server host gets a message on those keywords, and if you have a way to obtain the cores via trade or guild shops, if you haven't done data drain, you can't unlock that field on your own. You have to party up with someone else, or you have to then head offline and learn the skill. So just another little heads up there. One of the shorter updates from the BBS we've seen so far, and that really wasn't even the thing we were going for anyway. That was just sort of a thing on the way. Finally backing out to the desktop, gonna go back into the mail, which is where we started this little adventure. Once again, offline, unread. It's Subaru, with an email that says, "It's Subaru." She goes, "Thank you for your help today. I hope we can find that cat PC. I mean, Elk's friend Mia. Yes, it's good that people have names. If you need a place to level up, Delta Molten Fancy Year might be a good spot." We in fact do need a place to level up because we're level 1. So yeah, Delta Molten Fancy Year, huh? Let's grab a couple friends and head on to Delta Molten Fancy Year, huh? There you see it added to the word list, and we've got another blurb in the bulletin board here. Huh, look at that. We have a saw it from Silk. Says, "I saw the cat PC and sweet unique rock candy. If you hurry, she may still be there." Clicking on that, hitting circle twice, will give us the words sweet unique rock candy in our word list. So this is now working very much like Infection, where investigating our email and the bulletin boards carefully give us the clues we need to get to the next fields. Heading back into Makanu. And we have another meeting here with Subaru and Elk. Subaru says, "Ah, did you read the BBS post as well?" She says, "Let's head to Delta Sweet Unique Rock Candy together." So this is telling you that in order to get to Sweet Unique Rock Candy, you're going to need to grab these two. You're going to need Subaru and Elk, or else it's going to tell you, you should have taken them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and invite them to the party because they were nice enough to give us their member addresses anyway. Could definitely use Elk in the party because he's okay with it, and he's a Wave Master, and Wave Masters tend to heal. Subaru also very good for the party. You could see her there, level 15. Heavy Axe to the party gives us some more heft. Goes, right, how can I help? Well, first things first, let's see. Yeah. We've just got talking. So they want to get a sweet unique rock candy. Let's check that out on the word list. That's a level 8 field. We're still level 1. They could handle it. I don't think we could. Molten Fancy Year is a level 9 field, but that'll definitely get us some experience. Let's give this a shot, and if we can handle a level 9 field, we could definitely handle a level 8. Maybe not the most sound logic on the planet, but it's what I'm going with. One thing I want to do before anything else, go ahead and set some shortcuts here. Let's go ahead and take L1 and square, add in AppTorv, L1 and circle, AppVorv. L2 and circle, use GAN drive, L2 and triangle, rise smash, and L2 and X. Wow, we've only got awakenings, so no magic yet. Which is a shame because I always do like to have one magic skill right out of the gate. But we don't have that at the moment. At the moment we're sitting on 19 physical accuracy, and that's good, but I feel it could be better. So let's go ahead and... Oh wow, yeah, that's right, only 12 SP. We can't use AppTorv yet. So physical accuracy is just going to sit at 19. We will, however, grab a speed charm. And a grunt miss. First portal. Hey! 107 damage on the first strike. That's a pretty good start. Really need some healing here. And sure enough, Elk's got Ola rep. Gonna cost a fair chunk of his SP, so we gotta watch that. See what's coming out. We got a Rockhead. Let's go ahead and... Oh wow, Subaru just took care of the biz there. Already we're up to 407. 407 experience. How you like that? And we're down. Get revived in time to pick up those 36 from the Rockhead, and we're not going to waste another speed charm there, because I don't think I have that many left. Well, I've got 3, yeah, let's go ahead. Should've bought some, wasn't thinking ahead. Ooh, Scorpion Tank. Really want to make sure that thing's not after me. We're at least doing some damage though, so that's good. That's going to give us a ton of experience there. 46 solid experience. Right to the old total. Next portal. That's going to give us a pair of Rockhead, and that is kind of a problem for us. Throw an Oru-Ram out there. Let Elk handle these. Fun of playing Dot Hack, folks. Ooh, just a one-shot there. Picking up a Meteor Swarm. Elk, as always, asking about aromatic grass. And look at us, we're really part of the party this time. Only have 3 fortune wires. Really gotta sell some things next time through. Pick up a fossil bracer there. Yeah, fossil bracer, not that great for us. Ganram as a spell would be decent, but it's not worth the stat drop. Almost back into that Scorpion Tank. Again, camera angle, very important in this game. Another solid 46er. Elk informs us we did it. Again, reasons Elk is the best. And Subaru for that matter too. Let's face it, Subaru has been low-key carrying this adventure. And our experience, we've just about doubled since the last time, up to 826. I guess more than doubled. Look at that, one shot. We got a solo kill. That's no bueno. Okay, that rock head goes down. We help out a little with this one, get out of the way of the spinning stones attack, and we get the finish on that rock head. Picking up yet another fossil bracer. We know that's as good as cash when we get back to town. And we know we are dangerously close to leveling at this point. 928. This portal here could be the one, if it wasn't just a treasure chest. But we'll take it. It's the death, this time in the figurative sense. A consumable. Get some grunt mints there. Next portal open. It's got a scorpion tank. We're gonna back off, let Subaru head it off at the pass there. Back off again. Again, let the scorpion tank hack at the level 15 heavy axe. That's what tanking is about. Saw Elk kinda did a little stick punch there. We're almost there. We're also out of speed again. Let Elk heal us up. Go ahead and pop our speed boost while we're here. Next portal gives us some dust curse. Had to save ourselves there, popped a health drink, and there it is, level 2. Only got 14 SP, still not able to cast Staff Torv. But our skills did increase, as did our hit points, by, you know, a not zero amount. Back off, cast some reps here. And we're still getting really good experience at level 2. These rock heads are still going to give us 29 experience a pop, and it looks like we're getting 12 from the dust curse. So it's not as good as we were getting, but it's certainly better than we deserve. Our stats probably went up. I would imagine our attack went up. Get a risky treasure there, so use our last remaining fortune wire on that sucker. And pick up a Hands of Earth. Don't imagine that'll be too much better. Find a symbol here, so we'll wait for the whole party to come on, get the whole gang on board with this. And it's Ap Corv. Lucky day for us. That's extra attack that we use right away on that scorpion tank. And more importantly, Subaru uses with a vengeance. There you saw we just hit for 100. Subaru with the finish at 180. And we'll take that. We will absolutely take that effort. Now nothing to do but head into the dungeon itself. I keep wanting to hit circle to enter the room. Keep forgetting it's automatic. Only got one more fairies orb, so let's go ahead and use that. Wow, scorpion tank comes out swinging. Actually had to back off there, but we do help right at the end. Gotta earn our keep for the 37 experience. Okay, it's offline mode, we really don't have to, but we will. Pick up a resurrect. Fortunate that we haven't needed those as much yet. There we go, a little bit of hammer back and forth action between the heavy axe and the heavy blade. Wave Master there for support if we need. Love rooms like this because it's going to give us plenty to cash in when we get back. We got a Meteor Swarm, a Fire Tempest, whole bunch of jerky corpse bodies that aren't going to give us anything. Finally, a health drink there. Another Fire Tempest there. Can we at least get another consumable? Nope. Okay. Health drink and a couple scrolls, but that's still not bad. Another Meteor Swarm in this little treasure room. Sorry about that, folks. Just kind of got stuck mashing the button a little and couldn't get myself out of the pattern. Pick up a pair of antidotes there. Each antidote I get is, of course, one I don't have to buy, so I'm cool with that. Another health drink, also cool with those. That means we've got a net +1 so far. Had to burn the one in the field, and we've picked up 2. Corpse is still being kind of stingy, so we'll go back to the jars here. They're being far nicer. We picked up a restorative and a Meteor Swarm so far in this room. Sorry, the urns. No, I guess we have urns and jars, huh? Add another antidote to the pile. Make that one more. Yeah. There we go. I believe that was our last speed charm and our last fairy orb, so the stairs down here and all subsequent dungeoneering is going to be at a snail's pace and blind. First room we go, and it's a cross-shaped room, ensuring that we have just directions and directions of choices we don't want to make. Get the dust curse taken care of. Now it's just a matter of the Rockhead. Rockhead goes down. Let's go the way with the treasure chest first. Pick up some mountain boots. Not about to replace our fire lizard. Don't want to get rid of Aptorv before we can cast it. Well, our worst nightmare. We got confused. Meaning that Subaru got taken out by us. Not because we're that strong, but because she wouldn't fight back. The Mimic type enemies will confuse you, and confusion is a terrible, terrible thing. As you just, for the duration of it, hack at the closest thing to you, friend or foe. On the bright side, we know our sword is pretty darn accurate, because we did a number on Subaru and she'd been tanking those monsters like nobody's business. Into another one of these treasure rooms, and we could hear right away we're getting a golden egg. That bouncing's going to be popping in and out as we go here, also picking up some burning oil and another health drink. These all super good things to hold on to for, you know, trades and just consumables in general. That, however, was a dead end, so we're going to make our way back across to the opposite side. Another empty room. Will this lead to a treasure room? You bet it will, and it's got the other egg for the dungeon, an invisible egg. You see it over there? No, you don't. It's not because it's actually invisible, it's because I've got the camera pointing the wrong direction. There you go. Pick up yet another health drink. Actually getting nice little cache of those saved up. which will be important because as we get more and more comfortable in battle, we'll have to replenish our own health at a moment's notice, and casting Rep, as I'm sure you've noticed with all spells, takes a fair bit of time. Already past the 1/4 mark heading to level 3, we're at 274 experience. May not seem like the biggest improvement, but hey, it's progress. Remember, we made it through our first 2 dungeons, and still we're at level 1. Heal up yet again. Pick up the Hanged Man there. Treasure chest in the room gives us yet another meteor swarm. Now, I'm saving these up to sell in town so we could pick up things like fortune wires and speed charms. But you could just as easily use those as fire damage at a range. They're one-off spells. Very useful, especially if you're up against those scorpion tanks and in a jam. Get that elemental hit and get them out of the way. Get an antidote and a restorative back to back. Pick that invisible egg up so we don't have to hear the bouncing. There's a health drink. There's a burning oil. See, that set was very, very rewarding. You'll notice I'm skipping these in between rooms. That's really not by design, it's just sort of how it's going down. Pick up another invisible egg in the corner of the larger square room. Just to show there's no hard feelings, I'll smash those urns. Weird way to show you're cool with things. Pick the death up out of the chest. Find our 4th treasure room of this floor, which means that we somehow managed to figure out the way the stairs weren't every step of the way. Kind of nice in this case, but if we were running a timed dungeon or we were just trying to get it in quick, I could see how this would be a little annoying. All done exploring that, so there's nothing to do but head back to that first cross-shaped room and take the far right wing. Is it a wing if there's 4 directions? Is it just a hallway? I don't know. Sure enough, got a little corridor here with the stairs down. Once again, can't check out the floor plan, don't have the fairy's orb. Not moving much faster than this, don't have the speed charm. Got a choose your own direction set up again.
Invisible egg.
All kind of small rooms here. This one has an invisible egg, we will gladly oblige. Keep going through the tiny rooms.
Invisible egg.
Another one of the invisible eggs, pick up a burning oil, and now we have to turn up on the map. Get our first portal to the 3rd floor, and that is trouble with a capital T. That is a red worm. If you remember the 2nd dungeon, it was an infected red worm that we had to battle out. Oh yeah, we're out of fortune wires too. Well, let's take our chances. We got cursed. And we pick up a fortune wire. Unfortunately, we did it in the presence of everybody else, so no, we're still the only one cursed. That's okay. Doesn't look like Elk has anything to get rid of the curse. And Subaru can only help us with physical ailments. That said, we're really not using our SP for anything at the moment anyway, and curse won't last forever. Got another red worm here. Just gonna beat this thing up as best we can. Get a meteor swarm in the room. Our skill points hit 0. It's now taking 1 away from nothing. Really, the joke's on the curse. Now we get to walk around with these cool skull and crossbone logos. Yeah. Pick up a restorative that I know we could use to get rid of the curse, but seriously, it's not bugging me. Pick the death up. Reach our other corner room that's going to take us up on the map because symmetry is awesome. Not quite symmetrical there. We now have a fortune wire so we can actually disarm this risky treasure and pick up some miner's gloves. Man, I mean, the Hands of Earth are okay. Would really hurt our wood element. I think it's worth it. We're gonna go ahead and switch to the Hands of Earth. Another dead-end corridor. This one's got the mimics. We are once again confused as the game seems to love just going after the weakest enemies. Of course, it also confused Subaru, which really hurts our ability to gain any sort of experience out of this because we were dead the whole time. Nice thing is, when we do revive, we're no longer cursed. So there's that. I mean, can we really complain on losing out on those two mimics? We started today level 1 and we're right now 422 points in towards level 3. Pick up yet another antidote for situations that they'll be far more crucial in. Finally take the turn straight up the middle of this map. Have yet another portal to check out with yet another red worm to slay. This time us and Subaru are having the worst time hitting anything. Do finally take the red worm down just as it's about to barrel into us with some fire breath. Once again, no fortune wires. Go ahead, open it, and we take a dying shot for this fortune wire. Really kind of the best result in that case because it just takes us down to 23 hit points. And Elk will pop us right back up with an ol' ref. Didn't need to because we got the all clear there. We've been told there's nothing else in this dungeon that can hurt us. Moving through to a small room. And here's the statue. Statue room's going to give us Shadow Blades, a Resurrect, and a Speed Charm. Speed Charm's going to be huge, Shadow Blades are going to be money. Now we could use our Sprite Ocarina here, but I think our items have suffered enough. We will use the Use Sprite Ocarina command. That will take us back to town here, and before we do our... well, that will take us back to the field. I apologize, I was jumping ahead of myself. Sprite Ocarina takes you to the field, and from the field you can gate back to town. Now, before we go to the next board, I was planning on doing that right away, but I do want to go ahead and get some more items settled up. Still can't do anything but talk to them until we get to Sweet Unique Rock Candy, which will be next week's edition of the Weekend Warrior. I was going to try to squeeze them both in here, but the data drain information and everything else just kind of took up more time than I thought it would. So I'm actually going to disband the party for now and do a little shopping. In the meantime, this has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, thanking you for watching, and we'll see you around.